Pies. I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is General Hospital Edition. All right, y'all, let's get right into it. I'm not gonna hold you long. Today is Monday, September the 26th, 2022. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this one an 8. Not holding you long, we go right into Valentine and Anna, and they have made it back from the Hunted Star. They are in Anna's place. They get all changed and everything, and they're just sitting by the fireplace because they're cold. And so as they're sitting there, they start to talk. And Valentine just says that he realizes he's gonna have to kill his father. Like that's the best method to get rid of him. And he says he regrets having Charlotte. He, on one hand, he regrets it because he knew the type of man that he was and the enemies that he had made. But on another hand, he wanted Charlotte. He wanted a child. And so Anna said, I was the same way. My soul was up to the highest bidder. And then I had Robin, and all of that changed. And he said, I'm still on my path to change. And he said, I would have to kill Lucy too, because, she would be a witness. And Anna was like, I'm a witness too. But they, at the end of the day, they know each other. They know what they represent with each other. They know what they mean to each other. So it's not that big of a so it's they don't want to go down this path, but they realize that Victor is so dangerous they're gonna have to. And she accepts him for who he is, and he accepts her for who she is. And so then they start becoming intimate and everything. And yeah, so I mean that was pretty much it. They were finally intimate, and he was just like, because he stopped at some point, and she was like, why are you stopping? He was like, it's been years. I've wanted you for years, so I want to take my time. She said, boy, take your time. Next time, let's go ahead and go. And I said, all right then. And that was Anna and Valentine. So then we move on to Ava and Nicholas. And so he hands her the envelope, and inside of it is a written confession. And she says, oh, this ain't good enough for me. I'm not holding you long. I'm gonna need you to get on camera and confess. And that's exactly what he does. He gets on camera and he confesses to killing Esme, saying it's his fault and everything. And she tells him, this ain't gonna be enough, sir. You think you just gonna do this and I'm gonna fall for you? He said, yeah, but I know you falling for me, and I know it's just in the future. He said, right now, yeah, it's not enough. He said, but I know in the future you're gonna be mine again or whatever. And I said, you better talk that talk, Nicholas. And Ava just standing there. Not me lying there, but she like, and then he said, I'm about to go, right? And so he's about to leave, right? And then he come back, oh, here's a truffle or a chocolate or something. And he gave her, is it called Ferrero Rocher? Is it Ferrero Rocher? Anyways, he gave us one of those. Those are pretty good. I said, what? So he gave her that and he walked out. I said, you better set the tone, Nicholas. Tell Ava stop playing with you. Anyways, then we see Gregory and Alexis, and they're pretty much like, we need to find out why they're doing this. Like, what was the link to Brando? Why Brando? And they said, okay, let's go to his garage. I'm not gonna hold y'all long, so I'm moving through this rather quickly. They said, let's go to his garage or whatever. So that's exactly what they do. So they go to his garage, and when they do, Gregory's like, man, the door open. That don't seem right. And she said, come on. And he said, no, I mean, this feels bad. He was like, Brando was just attacked. Now the door is wide open and everything. But they go ahead and go in because Alexis said, come on. So they go in and they see Dex trying to stop Diane from bleeding out. And so Gregory was like, hey, get away from her. And he says, I'm helping her. I found her like this. And he said, Alexis called the paramedics and you get away from her. And he says, he told them, I already called the paramedics. They're on their way. They're en route, but you need to help me so we can stop this bleeding. And so then that's when they start helping him and everything. And, Alexis is just shell shocked because, Diana's her best friend. So then we see, Felicia, Robert, and Mac, and they come in and everything. And Cody is at the bar, and he's like, order me I want a beer and a champagne. And then he sees them, he's like, nah, cancel all that. And Mac is like, is he following us? And Felicia was like, he probably thinking the same thing. And Robert's like, what's going on? So then they proceed to fill Robert in about the whole him being Dominique's son and he's a Belle and everything like that. And they were like, what? So while this is going on, we see that Britt and Terry are talking, and has left Terry some a beautiful bouquet of flowers, I believe red roses and everything. And so I said, yeah, don't play with us. Don't play with us. Don't do this whole thing like y'all normally like to do, where y'all will get Terry involved in a romance, or y'all bring her out on the storyline, and then when stuff is over with, y'all put her back in the background. Like, if y'all have her in a romance, we want to see it through, please. Anyways, so Finn comes up and he said, I need to talk to you. And Britt was like, I'm about to go on a date. He said, I ain't talking to you, I'm talking to Terry. And so she's like, oh, okay. And then at that time, Cody calls because he's trying to get out of going to the Met, because they're at the Metro Court. He's at the Metro Court, and Britt is all dressed up because that's where she's supposed to meet him. And he's like, let's go bowling. She's like, sir, I am not bowling material. I am wearing a dress and heels. You, it's either the Metro Court or we're not going. And so he said, all right, the Metro Court it is. And so Terry's like, change of plans. She said, no, everything's going on fine and whatever. And so Britt goes ahead and leaves because, Finn ain't trying to talk to her. So Finn talks to Terry, and she's thinking it's about the case, and he says no. She said it's about Elizabeth, and he starts telling her that Elizabeth is seeking help, and everything. She says, I feel like I'm glad she's getting help, and she realizes she has a problem. She said, because I felt like it's a wall that's been up between me and my best friend, or whatever, since she caught Finn and Terry talking about her behind her back. Elizabeth did. And so while they're doing all of this talking, they get an alert. So then we see Britt makes it to the Metro Court with Cody and everything, and he says, like, you want to go somewhere else and get a drink, and she'll like, no, why would we leave? And then he tells her about Robert and them, the DA and all them. And so then we see that while Robert, Mac, and Felicia are talking, they get an alert that someone has been stabbed. And they were like, is this the same Hook or whatever? And he tells Robert, I don't know. But he's like, I need to take Felicia home. And Felicia's like, I can get an Uber or something like that. So Robert and Mac leave. And so that leaves Felicia there, and she goes over. I said, Felicia, leave him alone, but she go over there anyways, and she just tells Cody and Britt, hi, I hope you guys. I'm glad that what happened at the Quartermain picnic and everything didn't ruin, you guys' chances. And Cody, like, I like how aggressive he was. What did your husband, apparently, because Britt did tell them that Mac's brother is and Robert, and he's the DA and everything. And so he's like, great. And so he's all like, what do your husband have against me? And now I gotta worry about the DA. And I said, you coming at Felicia a little aggressive, sir. Like, what you trying to hide or whatever. And Felicia said, no, you don't know Mac. Mac would never like falsely accuse you of anything. And Robert, they go by the book or whatever. And then, she's just telling Cody, but you need to talk to Mac. If you have feelings or whatever, talk to Mac. And Britt, like, my champagne's getting flat. I said, girl, set your butt over there and hush and drink that flat champagne, because it's not that expensive. It was going flat that fast. And so Felicia said, well, I don't want to bother you all or anything, but she just presses it to Cody that he should talk to Mac. And then she takes care of their drinks, because she said she interrupted them. And then she writes Mac's number down for Cody. And because she tells him, it's not my story to tell, but you need to speak to him. His personal cell phone number. And he was like, okay. And so when Cody and Britt talk, she said, this date is ruined. And he said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to turn out like that. And she said, I know you didn't. And then they said, she told him, if Felicia is pressuring you or really telling you should speak to Mac, it's got to be important. So she leaves or whatever. And then Cody had left the napkin with Mac's number on the counter. And the bartender said, hey, do you want this number? And he was like, actually, yeah, I do. And that was it with him, y'all. And then we see Dex, Alexis, Gregory and Mac. And Mac comes in and he said, "You again." And Gregory says he helped, like he saved Diane because they have a faint pulse for Diane. It's weak, but it's there. And he says, "When you were around when Ava was stabbed, you were around when Brando was stabbed, and now Diane." I said, "Now it's not looking good, but because he was around like this, I'm willing to believe that it's not him." And so Alexis said, "Matt, can we please go see Diane? Because she's really close." She said, "We'll answer any questions that you have. I just want to check on my friend." And he tells her, "Yeah, go ahead." And so she tells Cody, no, she tells Dex, "Listen, Mac is a good man. I know you work for Sonny, but you tell him what you know or whatever." And Mac says, "You should take her advice." I said, "Mac, that's not like, why are you being so dang aggressive?" But anyways, Dex is like, "My boss told me not to talk to the police, so I'm lawyering up. Give me a lawyer." And so, it is what it is. He got to get the lawyer. And so then we see that they go to the hospital and Robert is there and he's like, "Someone got stabbed." I said, "Robert, you already know this. Mac told you that." Anyways, then he walk off. And so Finn, they're all there, whatever, when they bring Diane in, and he said, "What are you guys doing here?" And they said, "We were there when she was stabbed. I mean, we were there and we found her. We found Dex trying to save her or whatever." And he was like, "Oh my gosh." So then so then Alexis and Gregory are talking or whatever, and she says, "We have to," because he's like, "There's nothing you can do for Diane. Have you talked to your children?" And she said, "No, I don't want to worry them even more." And he said, "If Diane makes it, that'll be, it'll be great, and we could talk to her and get more information." And she said, "I'm not going to wait around. Like, I have to do something." So he said, "What are you going to do?" She said, "Write a letter to the killer." And so she walks off and she looks back. She said, "You gonna check my spell check or not?" So he was like, "Yeah, I'm coming." So then Terry and Finn talk, and they said the same poison substance that was on Brando's hook was on Diane's hook. So, but he has another ding on his phone, and he's like, the antidote has arrived or whatever, so they're gonna get it for Diane, y'all. And they did say, I believe it was Mac or Robert who said all of these people are connected to Sonny, but I don't think this has anything to do with Sonny, honestly. Um, but I don't know. It could. I have no idea. This is a mystery one, but they kill him. I mean, they're not killing, but they're hurting more people than they did on Days. Hopefully, this doesn't take 4 months to find out who it is, like Days did. But anyways, all right, guys, that was General Hospital today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow for all new episodes of What Happened on the Soap, General Hospital Edition. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.